Have you ever seen kindness backfire? Have you ever lifted someone from the pit, only for them to sit on the throne you were eyeing? This is the tale of Lady D, a rich woman who had it all, money, status, class, but lost the one thing she wanted most, to a girl with nothing but gratitude in her eyes. But this is not a simple story, oh no. This is a tale of love, betrayal, identity, hidden pasts, and divine destiny. A tale that will keep you shouting Jesu. This life no balance. So sit down, grab your chin, listen well and watch. How a rich woman lost her man to a homeless girl she picked from the street. In the dazzling heart of Abuja, where traffic lights bowed for motorcades and palm trees lined gold-gated homes, lived a woman who had everything but love. Lady D, born Doris Agundu, was a woman that caused silence when she entered a room. Her physique, her custom-made perfume, her voice that never needed to be raised, she was class-defined. She owned the Majestic, an exotic car dealer shop in the city of Abuja, where all kinds of imported classy cars were sold. She also owned the Majestic Bites, a high-end restaurant where senators ate, celebrities begged for reservations, and tycoons left tips larger than salaries. She had built her business empire from the ground up. No husband, no sponsor, just grit and God. But behind the glam and glory was a scar. A wound left by 2 failed relationships, one with a cheating ex who married her best friend, the other with a business partner who used her and left her bankrupt until she rebuilt. So, she locked her heart and focused on her empire. Until that fateful night. It was a Tuesday evening in Abuja. After the day's work, Lady D was driving home in one of her SUVs in the bustling streets of Abuja. Up ahead, under the soft yellow flicker of a broken streetlight, sat a girl. Barefoot, looking tired. Eyes blank. She was beautiful, not the kind of beauty painted with makeup, but the raw, innocent kind that made even the night pause. Lady D's heart skipped. She couldn't help but gazed at her steadily. She stopped the car and stepped out. As she got closer to her, she asked, "Young girl, what is the matter?" The girl blinked and hesitated. She was used to insults, not kindness. "Me?" "Yes, you. What are you doing here all alone at this time of the night?" I don't have anywhere to go, Ma." "What's your name?" "Amaka," she said. Lady D stared a moment longer, then made a decision that would change everything. "Get into the car, you are leaving with me." Amaka, though worried, entered the car. They drove off, heading to Lady D's home. Unsure who Lady D was, her intentions and where she was taking her, Amaka sat quietly in the car looking uneasy. When they got into Lady D's mansion, her eye widened like a child entering a palace. She couldn't believe it. Lady D introduced Amaka to her domestic staff as her friend. She later showed her a beautiful bedroom. "From today this is your room." Her room had AC, a soft bed, and a bathroom bigger than the last house she lived in with her abusive parents. That night she ate on the dining table with Lady D to the surprise of her domestic workers. She later gave her clothes and a new phone. "Thank you, Ma, all this for me. But you don't even know me or my past." "There is no need for that. What really matters is what you do from here." That night, Amaka cried herself to sleep, not in sorrow, but in disbelief that someone could care that much. The next day, Lady D introduced Amaka to the staff at the restaurant as a friend. She looked gorgeous in her beautiful, elegant red dress bought for her by Lady D. This shocked everyone, especially Brenda, her assistant of 5 years, who stood by the side taking notes. Within a month, Amaka transformed. Her skin glowed. She spoke better. She even helped at the restaurant each time she was there, though Lady D didn't let her take on stressful tasks. She was seen everywhere with Amaka by her side, and they bonded so well. Amaka loved and cherished Lady D and could lay down her life for Lady D for changing her life. But not everyone was pleased. Brenda began to feel replaced. Lady D no longer asked her for styling advice. Amaka now helped pick shoes, bags, even business slogans. The staff in the company of the PA whispered, "Who is she really? Maybe she's Lady D's sister from the village." "Abi she be Juju girl," one said. Then came Kenneth Okafor, oil magnate, owner of a tech company, widely respected and devastatingly charming. He met Lady D at a business summit in Lagos. They exchanged numbers, and she pursued him with respectful intensity. Lady D smiled again, laughed again. She started dressing softer, wearing perfume with rose notes instead of musk. She was falling. One Saturday, she invited Ken to her mansion for a private dinner. She didn't know she was also opening the door to another heartbreak. Amaka opened the door that evening. Ken froze. She wore a simple red dress, looking gorgeous, but her eyes shone with innocence and warmth. He stared. "Good evening, sir. Please come in." He didn't speak immediately, just nodded. Dinner was set: grilled fish, basmati rice, prawns. Candlelight danced around the room. Lady D tried to impress him, but Ken's eyes kept drifting to Amaka. "You didn't tell me you had a sister." Lady D laughed. "That's Amaka. Not my sister. Just someone I'm helping. She carries grace. Pure grace." Ken said. After dinner, that evening as Lady D went to ease herself, Ken walked over to the kitchen. "You're Amaka, right?" "Yes, sir." "You have a beautiful smile." Amaka blushed. "Thank you." That was the spark. Mr. Ken started visiting often, and each time he would go to the kitchen and spend time with Amaka. Amaka initially saw Ken as a perfect gentleman who was just being friendly without minding her class. But unknown to her, Ken had different thoughts and deep feelings for her. When he called Lady D on phone, he always asked to greet Amaka. He started visiting with small gifts, for both of them, yes. But Lady D became worried when she noticed his eyes never left Amaka for long. She thought it was paranoia. Until one morning, she overheard Amaka praying in the room. "God, please don't let this man cause problem for me. I can't betray Auntie D. I didn't come here for love. I owe her my life. Please help me. Make this man love Auntie D, not me." Lady D froze. Over the next few weeks, Ken started dropping by without warning. Sometimes with a bottle of wine. Sometimes with takeout. But he always asked after Amaka. Lady D became worried. One day, she pulled Amaka aside. "Has he touched you?" "Who, ma?" "Ken, of course." "No, Auntie D. Never." "Are you talking behind my back?" "No, ma. I swear." But doubt had entered. Brenda, who watched like a hawk, noticed how unhappy Lady D was that day. She interacted with her and added fuel. "I warned you, madam. That girl is a betrayer. She is an ungrateful, clever girl." That evening, Lady D confronted Mr. Ken. "Be honest with me. What's going on between you and that girl? I've known you for a while now, and I have been with other women. But there's something about Amaka. She doesn't want my money. She doesn't chase fame. She looks into my eyes like she sees my soul. I like you, D, no doubt. But I love her. And I want to marry her." Lady D's heart shattered like a dropped crystal glass. "No, Ken, I have waited so long for your love. Please don't reduce me to nothing." "Not with her, please." She cried. Lady D became cold. Her smiles disappeared. She stopped eating with Amaka. She gave her orders like a servant. "Sweep the stairs again." "But I did already, Auntie." "Do it again." Staff began to whisper. Some mocked Amaka. Others pitied her. But she never complained. She kept praying, kept smiling, kept thanking Lady D for saving her life. Then came the bombshell. One evening, Ken visited Lady D. His eyes were serious. "I need to tell you something." Holding what looked like a box of an engagement ring in his hand. She smiled, still hopeful. "I'm in love," he said. "I thought you wouldn't." Her heart fluttered. "I mean to say, with Amaka." The room spun. "I respect you. I admire you deeply. But my heart, it's hers." Lady D couldn't speak. Ken stood, with an engagement ring in his hand. "I want to propose to her. I came to let you know first." She didn't reply. Just stared at him like he was a stranger. "Thanks for your understanding." He left. With that engagement ring, everything exploded. Lady D didn't argue. She simply called Amaka and said, "Pack your things and leave my house now. You ungrateful ingrate, so this is how you chose to repay me for my kindness. You snake. I picked you from the gutter. Is this how you repay me? Get out of my house." Amaka knelt down and cried, "Auntie D, I didn't seduce him. I didn't plan this. I told him I can't be with him, I swear. I have no intention to take your man, please believe me. Auntie, I never meant to hurt you. I told him no. I begged him. But he said it's me or nothing. I swear I'm sorry." But Lady D wasn't listening. She turned away, a single tear escaping her eyelash. "I took you as my little sister, but you did this to me," she whispered. And just like that, Amaka packed her few things and left crying again into the streets. No warning. No goodbye. Just a luggage and the gate slammed shut. Immediately Mr. Ken heard, he went after her. He found her on the road and drove her to a new home. In her new home, she wasn't given just a room, but she was gifted a new apartment as a gift. And from that day, Amaka's story changed for good. Ken supported her and loved her publicly without looking back. They gradually built a strong bond and grew inseparable. Their engagement was all over social media and mainstream television news channels. The headlines read, "Billionaire marries former homeless girl." "Oil billionaire marries former street girl." "Lady D loses her man to the girl she picked from the street." Pictures flooded the blogs. Amaka, glowing in designer red dress, standing beside Ken. Lady D could not believe her eyes when she saw the news on the television. She was devastated and down. She stopped eating. Stopped smiling. Her restaurant suffered. Customers left. Staff morale dropped. Majestic Bites was shut for days. Depression knocked. She hardly left her bedroom for days. Until one person opened the door again. Few days after her restaurant reopened, a man named Donald visited. He was Donald Okeke, a simple man. Owner of a small printing press in Abuja, as he claimed. He came into Majestic Bites restaurant one afternoon, wearing native attire. He introduced himself and pretended not to know who Lady D was. They had a good conversation that day. And he returned again. And again. When Lady D poured her heart out to him, he told her that she didn't need to impress anyone. "You are a beautiful woman even in tears and pains. You are a rare gem and don't let anybody make you think otherwise." Those words were so comforting and gave Lady D the much-needed boost at that moment, and she gradually began to heal. But another headline followed on the newspapers. Exclusive, Amaka, the daughter of late Justice Abies, resurfaces. Yes. Unknown to everyone, even to Amaka herself, she was the long-lost daughter of a powerful judge. A DNA test confirmed it. Her real name, Amaka Abies Daniels. A princess born, but was raised by her adopted parents after the fatal accident that took the lives of her parents, Her nanny disappeared with her without traces. She was barely 2 years old when she was taken and illegally sold to her adopted parents. Nobody saw her again or knew what happened to her until now. The night Lady D met a marker, she was thrown to the streets by her adopted parents for refusing to marry a man old enough to be her father they forced on her for material gains. When Mr. Ken heard the reason why she became a homeless girl, he felt something was not adding up for parents to do that to their own daughter. He dug deep into her background out of concern, and the truth came out. When Lady D saw the headlines, she couldn't breathe. She sat and whispered to herself, "So, I didn't just lose him to a poor homeless girl. I lost him to a queen after all." Months later, after Amaka and Mr. Ken's wedding, a letter arrived at Lady D's mansion. It read, "Dear Auntie D, you saved me when the world forgot me. You loved me when I had nothing. I never meant to hurt you. I begged him to love you, but he chose me. And now, I can't change destiny. But I want you to know, I still owe you my life. I will always honor you. I pray God restores your joy." Signed by Amaka. Lady D cried, not of pains, not of regrets but of joy. She smiled through her tears. "You may have taken the man, but you gave me back something deeper, humility." But just when Lady D thought she was not meant to find love, Donald returned to the restaurant. And as they interacted, he said, "You're a lady with a big heart and you deserve to be happy. And I think it is time to bring back your beautiful smile. In fact, I've been waiting for a woman like you all my life." Lady D turned, and for the first time in years, she blushed, and he removed his cap, knelt on one knee, and asked her hand. She said, "Yes." Donald stood up and slid the ring in her finger. Patrons and workers alike clapped and cheered in support. The restaurant workers whispered, "At last Lady G has found love." But Brenda, Lady D's assistant, was not convinced that Donald was genuine. The next day, she sat with Lady D, and as they discussed she said, "But madam, I don't trust this Donald man. He looked like a gold digger. Be careful with him." "I will, Brenda, but you should know that not every man is a gold digger. He doesn't strike me as one." Unknown to Lady D, Donald wasn't an average businessman but a billionaire. He was Mr. Ken's business associate who watched from the distance of all that unfolded before he first approached her. Their wedding followed months after Amaka and Ken's marriage. It was a great occasion, graced by who is who amongst the top powerful men and women in the country. Lady D later opened a non-profit organization for homeless young women. She called it the Second Chance Foundation. One day, Amaka visited. Lady D was excited to see her after a while. They hugged. "I never wanted to hurt you," Amaka whispered. "I know," Lady D replied. "I was broken," Lady D said. "But I'm not anymore. Sometimes, the people we rescue will leave us. Sometimes, love arrives in a form we didn't expect. And sometimes, losing what you thought was love gives space for the love you actually deserve. A tale of how life can change in one night. Of how kindness can come back to test you. And how sometimes, losing something you fought for gives room for what you never knew you needed." And so, Lady D lost the man she thought was hers. But in the fire of heartbreak, she found something more precious, the love of her life, Donald. Because the true test of royalty is not how high you rise, but how gracefully you recover when brought low. Let this tale remind us, not every loss is defeat. Sometimes, it is the road that leads you to something greater. And sometimes, the people who hurt you only pushed you into your destiny. This is not just a story. This is a mirror. If it touched you, if it moved something inside you, then share it. Let someone else find light in these words. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Because here on African Tales by Bro Divine, every story comes with fire, wisdom, and truth. Until the next tale, remain blessed, and remember, The street may forget your kindness, but the universe never does.